We might as well go a little deeper. Now let's get deeper. Have you ever heard of a vortex?
Yes.
Yeah.
Now they say a chakra is a spinning wheel of light. You ever heard that?
Mm-hmm.
Why would they say that? All right, here we go. It's not a belief system. There's a science taking place. Now, a tornado is a vortex. When you're take the tub, the stopper out of a tub or the sink, and it makes that vortex. That's a vortex, a whirlpool.
Mm-hmm.
But it's a vortex. So that means, and that's on a water air level, that means it's physical. All right? So when you go to these high energy places, and you say, I can feel the energy, there's something physical taking place, you just didn't know it. But you're relating it to spirituality. What's happening is, in the air, the molecules is moving a certain way, just like if you was in the ocean, and you know how they say an undercurrent could come take you? That's what's taking place in the air. The air is always moving. But in that particular space, it's moving in a certain direction at a certain speed. And when you come into it, man, this energy feels good. Man, I get charged up when I get there. Ooh, the spirit is good in there. But that was just the laws of physics. That's why you can make a vortex. People do it all the time. Uh-oh. So that means, uh-oh, we got to say it. Spirituality is physical. It's just that you couldn't see it, taste it, or smell it.
Can I say something?
Yeah.
The spirit, the S-P-I-R in spirit
Here we go.
is the same spirit, S-P-I-R in respiration.
Here we go.
It's the same thing.
Same thing.
So it's the breath.
It's the breath.
It's the breath.
It's the breath.
Something physical. So if you want, that's why they got breath work is popular.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to upgrade your spirit or want a stronger spirit, you work with the breath. And what do the breath work with? The body. It's all physical. So that's why when science says, oh, they just talk on a materialistic level, they actually adhere to you. This is all, now listen how I change it. This is all material, but it's all spiritual.
All.
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 That's why E equals MC squared. So when a breatharian says they live without food, they are living with another substance that's physical. There ain't no belief system put tape on your mouth. Oh, did we say this?
Mm-hmm.
We got to make it make sense, or people will hurt themselves, or will find themselves stuck in the ignorance because it wasn't explained. This is good, ain't it? But once you can see you're working with something tangible, even though you can't see it, taste it, or smell it, and you got the tool that can work with it, you can make it happen. Did we say this?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, man.
So then you're getting the body, the tool ready to work with it because you're moving obstruction so that the breath can flow.
Here we go.
There it is.
And this is why I believe you said you would listen to Sadhguru or somebody.
The old show.
Osho. But Sadhguru, I'm glad he said this. He said yoga is designed to allow the practitioner to understand their body is an instrument. It's an instrument. This is what you're living in. And I put a post on not too long ago on social media. You should use your body as an instrument instead of an ornament. Whole different ball game.
Yeah.
This is what makes you a practitioner. You got something to work with, a bio machine, a biocomputer. And if you, just like any machine, the more knowledge you get on how to use it, it's a structure manual, the more you can do with it. This is good, ain't it? Now, we heard of that word prana. Maybe y'all heard that word prana from India.
Yeah.
Sanskrit word prana. Some people heard it, some don't. It's cool. But more people know about it now than before. And it's known in the yoga circles. Prana, you'll run into that word. But in the West, Prana basically came on the scene just over 100 years ago. That book, Autobiography of a Yogi, was written in 1920, and him and other yogis started coming here to the West. That's when the word started getting introduced. So it is new to this culture. It is new. And this is what he said back then. People couldn't even catch it. He said you got electricity going up and down your spinal cord. It's right in that book.
That's what
And he said the electricity is God. Don't we say God is in us?
Yes.
Don't be scared of it. How you gonna work with God if you can't see who it is or what it is, and that you can work with it? Other than that, you'll have a belief system. That's what it's gonna boil down to at the end of the day.
Huh? Belief system.
Mm-hmm. And then we got to remove the belief system so we could get
Because
into.
we eat our belief system.
We eating the belief systems. Here we go. Now let's get real with it. So prana just came 100 years ago. Now we heard of that word chi or ki from China. That's new to this culture. It started coming around when martial arts came to America.
Mm-hmm.
American fighting was the Wild Wild West. You know, winding way back, you can see it coming. That's the movies we was used to. So back in the what? Early 60s, 70s, that's when it started getting introduced through martial arts. So it's still new to this culture. Chi. Now we're gonna get into chi and prana. But now there's another big word. They all mean the same thing. These words just mean life force, energy. And it's used in the medical profession right now, but it's just a cultural word. Life force energy. But there's another word from Africa, Egypt, and it's the Ka. K-A. It means the same thing. But Egypt is well known. But why haven't you heard of the Ka? Uh-oh, that was excluded for a reason. Now it means the same as prana and chi. Yes, it does. But when you study the Ka, it's going to tell you a lot more what you can do with it. That's why it wasn't introduced. But now it's being introduced and it have to. Because the solar breatharian knowledge is on the scene. Because that's where the invention came from.
They put that knowledge in a book, and they changed the name of the book
Right. Mm-hmm.
to the Egyptian Book of the Dead,
The Book of the Dead.
and that's where they have the knowledge of the Ka.
That's where the
Inside
knowledge
that
is at. And just the name have kind of thrown you off.
Change the name up so you don't want. I don't want that.
And then when you do read it, it's mythical. But now we got to make it real. All right, let's see what the Ka is. Go ahead and read.
Ka is the life force or spiritual double of the person.
It's the life force. Didn't we say today they use the word life force? The medical profession, the science profession, life force energy. Nikola Tesla, that's what they was all talking about. So it ain't spooky. It's not in the spiritual circles only. It's in the scientific medical circles that came from ancient times. So the Ka is the life force energy or spiritual double. The word is spiritual. I'm glad you hit that. Some people don't know what spiritual is. How can you know you're on the spiritual path if you don't know what spiritual is?
It's breathing. It's breathing.
But we're going to break it down even more tangible.
Let's go.
Uh-oh.
Let's go.
We got to.
We must.
Keep reading. We must.
We must.
The royal Ka symbolizes the pharaoh's light to rule a universal force that passed from one pharaoh to the next.
So the royal, now they called it royal.
Mm.
And it's the thing that gives you the right to rule.
Mm.
That's real deep. Somebody's energy gives them the right to rule.
Mm.
Listen at that. So that means if there was a presidential candidates going on, nobody's looking at their Ka. Because we don't know what it is.
Can you read that again?
Read that one more time. Nice and loud.
The royal Ka symbolizes a pharaoh's light
A pharaoh's light,
to rule a universal force that passed from one pharaoh to the next.
and it's a universal force.
Mm.
It's life force energy. It's universal. Not only a human has it, a dog has it. Those trees has it. It's the universal force. It's the source. Don't they-
But what you said about it's all the unit. It's all the same life force and everything.
Right.
But the body and the function of the body gives it its form.
Gives it its form.
If it's a human
Listen
body,
at that.
you got a human life force. If it's a mouse body, the mouse can only function
This is what he said.
as a mouse in the mouse form.
Right. So there's only one consciousness. That's why there's a thing called unity consciousness. But when it hits the form, that's where you say we're under human consciousness, dog consciousness, but you're the same being. Oh, did we say this? Oh, man. I just got high. But it's the one that determines the right to rule. That's what made Egypt famous. The Ka.
For thousands of years.
For thousands of years. The leadership was based on their energy force. Somebody was glowing. But do we judge leadership like that today? No, we didn't know nothing about that. You're going off of who talks the smoothest, who looks the best,
Who got the most
who
money?
rides the best, who got the most money. That's what was lost. But if you gain that back, they straight up saying it's the Ka that would give you the right to rule. That's not even a democracy. Uh-oh. We got to go there.
That's potent.
Well, I wonder the Ka wasn't given to you.
That's potency.
And Egypt is the father of this civilization.
Absolutely.
Did we say this? Yeah.
Absolutely.
I know they say Greece in school, that's what we was taught.
No.
But they overrated it with a pen. All of them went to Egypt to go get learned.
All of them.
Exactly.
All of them.
Exactly. It's only stolen
Right.
information.
And even every state I've been in, running around, not over every state, around the world where I travel, I always see something reminding me of Egypt. It's the foundation of the world.
That's right.
But they didn't give us the Ka. Because if you knew that the life force of a person gives them the right to rule and power, that changes the ball game. Because that's what sets you free and fight your battles. But they gave everybody a belief system. Go ahead.
I don't think that. Can you say that it's not? They didn't give us the call. They stripped it from us.
Well, let's say it like this. There's a saying that says, truth is hidden in plain sight.
Right.
Did we say that? Because he told you where to find it.
Absolutely.
We read it.
So it wasn't taken from you, just don't understand it.
It was in another language.
And then after we get done, after I get finished revealing all this to you, you're going to say it has been in my face all along. So that's why after a while you can't blame nobody else. You don't have no enemies.
Come on now.
Oh, man.
That's what we talked
We're
about
here to
yesterday.
remember. Okay?
Right.
It's all in us already.
It's all in
Part
you.
of our DNA.
Mhm.
It's born with it. It's
We
our
are
birthright.
opening it up.
We
We
just
are
got to remember.
unraveling
We
it.
got to open up them channels.
Here we go.
That's
And
what we
bring it
do.
out.
That's
think-
right.
I
That's
think
what we
we-
do.
Power.
Yeah, I think we
Yes.
see it in each other because sometimes you say you got that leadership quality or you got that glow. You got that glow about you.
Right.
We see it, but we don't identify it because we never familiarize with it. And like everything else in this culture, they quantify it so we can understand what it is. Like they get a name for it and say, hey, this is what we're going to call this. So when you see it, you say, this is what it is. So now when you see like a person glowing, you're like, man, they got that glow about them. That could be their car. Which
It is.
It's their car showing you that that person can be a leader. That person can rule.
Now listen what he said, because they're glowing. Everybody glows. It's just that some people glow more than others. That's a scientific fact. They got machines now. They can show you the glow that's coming off of you and what color it is.
So we say that in
Curly and
that it's
photography.
being Glow, or we're saying as car is the same as the aura.
Yep.
So
It's the same as the aura.
yes.
The same as the electromagnetic field that's coming off the body.
So that's what they say, like, you have to expand your aura instead of let it shrink, because you let it shrink, you're giving people access to you.
My first time.
Now listen at this. We used to use the word aura. But now today, they changed it to electromagnetic field. It's the same thing. See, it's the play on words that's messing everybody up.
Yes. And it's what we just did.
Yeah.
Exactly. When we were just out there, we was working with the Ka,
Yeah.
the prana, the chi, the life force. That's why your shoulders got healed.
Yes.
You was playing around with the light.
Play more.
Play more.
Play more. And this is easy. You know what? The journey is simple. but it's not easy. Starting out. It's not easy because we got to deal with this. When you come on this path, you are basically thawing out through movement, structure, breath, to thaw out, to get everything flowing. See how easy we making this? It ain't hard, but we got to break it down simple.
So those of us that are that may be battling a disease, this is on the right path for you to take to heal yourself.
Absolutely, because now in metaphysics they'll tell you, diseases start in an energy field before it manifests in the physical body. This is how they say in religion. Oh, it happened in the spiritual realm before it came to the physical. They saying the same thing.
Yeah.
So in order to cure yourself, you got to work with the energy first so it can manifest a new body. That's how it started. That's where you go. See, when you're dealing on this journey, you're going straight to the source. That's why we call it human photosynthesis. Photo means light. Synthesis means combining or put together, synthesizing something. Don't they say you get vitamin D from the sun?
Correct.
How do your body do that? When it came in contact with the light, it synthesized chemical reactions to give you what you needed. Now, if you could do it with that, can't you do it with other things? It's just that nobody told you. Oh, come on, let's go.
The Ka was essentially a person's life force.
The Ka is a person's life force. It's not mythical. Let's go with it.
And at death, it was separated from the body.
Now, this is a good one. At death, it was separated from the body. When we see a body laying there, the life force left. The food is still there. The clothes is there. The car is there. The money's there.
The car left.
Your friends and family looking at you. That means all those things I just mentioned, they don't give you life. The life force that left gave you life.
That's why you still.
Oh, that's rough, ain't it?
That's what it is.
That's what it is. Oh, man, let's go with it.
The reason for extensive and elaborate preparation for the body for the afterlife was to ensure that the Ka had a home.
That to ensure that the Ka had a home. And they use that word afterlife. This is what confuses everybody. Because we thinking, and this is why the church plays on it, you're going to go to another place after you die. But they use the word afterlife, and the Quran used the word the hereafter. See, right now, you're living one type of life due to the energy that's coming into the body. So the energy that's coming into the body now is not enough to really sustain you. That's why you're going externally. But after you prepare it for the Ka to have a home, it's preparing it for the afterlife, the life you're going to have hereafter this one.
So immortality.
Did we say this?
So immortality.
Immortality. Because you made yourself sick. See, there's a reason why the shoulders got stiff. We ain't going to go into it. But it was something.
Yeah.
It just didn't happen.
And that's also in the book. That's also in the Purdam Haru. The immortality is there.
It's there.
The knowledge is there in that book.
A child is not thinking about dying. It don't know.
And that's what they say in Kemet. They say every day is a good day to die.
Every day is a good day to die.
Every day.
Here we go now.
Imhotep say,
Imhotep.
eat, drink, and Imhotep said, eat, drink, and marry. Eat, drink, and be married, for tomorrow we die.
Absolutely.
And when you're born, in the morning, we rebirth.
Here we
yes,
go.
We rebirth again.
You rebirth again.
Every day we die.
But through elaborate preparation and extensive preparation. You're talking about somebody's preparing something for the Ka to have a home. Instead of the Ka getting kicked out. Don't we say the body's the temple of God? Let's make it make sense. And God is that energy you were just working with. God healed the shoulders. I keep bringing you up. But that's what happened. You was preparing the body, giving it a home.
That's where people say that they don't want to be in their body no more because it hurts so much.
It hurts. They ready to get kicked out. And it's hurt due to blockages.
Yeah, and the car ready to
The Ka ready to go because they don't have a house prepared for
My
it.
body's attacking me. No, it's not.
But we didn't understand the importance of energy. This civilization don't understand the importance of energy. Egypt became famous because it did. And the fall came when they stopped paying attention, putting it first.
That's what happened.
And for you to have the right to rule, you got to pay it attention again. Other than that, it's not going to happen. That's wild, ain't it?
Ooh, that's, you know what?
Because you only seeing what your body perception will allow you to see. So if the energy is still low, you just see duality. But when you raise your energy, the frequency, then you can see unity. The unity, because there's only one consciousness. You don't have no enemies.
No enemies.
That's what we were talking about driving in.
No enemy within.
Right.
No enemy without.
Nobody to blame.
Nobody to blame. Well, they hid it from you and they conspired. No, they didn't. They gave it to you. You couldn't see it.
Understand. They give it to us all the time.
All the time.
They show it to us.
They have to.
They have to.
And who is they? They is you.
You. That's right.
You gave yourself the permission to give it to you at a certain time.
At that point in time.
That's why you can see it. It's no philosophy. It starts becoming real.
The Ka statue is a type of ancient Egyptian statue intended to provide a resting place for the Ka.
To provide a resting place for the Ka. So the statue is symbolizing it, but this is why you're preparing a resting place for the Ka, a home. See, when you look at the 7 days of creation in the scriptures, that's talking about, now 7 is 7 chakras. This is esoteric knowledge. That's your development through extensive practice. When you make it to the 7th day, God rested from all his works.
So is that
You're
why-
God, you rested. You did the work. Now you got a home.
So that's why they say, I go before to prepare a place for you.
I go before to prepare a place for you. This is it. So this isn't mythical no more. When we were just out there, that's what you were just doing. And the Lord was coming home because it moved blockages, didn't it?
Yes.
That's how you know. You know you're getting more of the Ka flowing through the body when you start getting healthier and having more energy. This isn't spooky. This is good, ain't it?
Yes.
And if the body changes, your thoughts is going to change because the body and the mind is one. Right. Let's keep reading.
Ka means soul or spirit.
Listen at this. Now, this is the key right here. This is what's messing everybody up. Especially they can't see that the human being don't need food to eat. Let's get into it now. The Ka means
Soul
soul
or spirit.
or spirit. Soul or spirit is one. It's the same thing. I know a lot of people don't know that because the church teaches different. I'm going to tell you why. The soul and the spirit, they divided it. And both of them is the Ka. We got to make it make sense. All right? It's the same thing. That's key number one. Because that's the unity consciousness. See, it's just like your mind, body, and emotions. They're one. So when you look at me, you're looking at my spirit. You're looking at a spirit. You're looking at my emotions. You're looking at the way I think. But you only can see that when you have an expanded Ka. When you can't see that, it's easy to hide. Or they look good, but they emotionally messed up. But somebody who could see unity could see it. Let's keep reading.
Soul definition.
All right, now I said the spirit and the soul is the same thing. What's the definition of the soul?
The spiritual or immaterial,
The spiritual, go
or
ahead.
immaterial part of a human being,
The
or
immaterial
animal,
part of a human being or animal,
regarded as immortal.
regarded as immortal. Even an animal is immortal. Did we say this? You're already immortal. Everybody's killing themselves. Or did we say this? Because they ended the unity consciousness. That's how we know. It was fragmented. If it was whole, it wouldn't have died. Let's read.
The essence of a human being,
The essence of a human being. Go
that
ahead.
which confers an individuality
Mhm.
and humanity, often considered to be synonymous with the mind or self.
It is also synonymous with the mind or the self. Every time we talk higher self, we do this. By habit. That's not what it is. It's the soul. It's inside of you. Your higher self is inside of you. But we've been trained to do this because we was trained. God is outside of us.
Outside.
We was trained to do this.
External.
Instead of looking in the mirror. Hey, God. Hey, higher self.
But isn't that also like the gesture we use for surrender?
Surrender.
Surrender. That's the Ka.
That's the Ka. This is the statue of the Ka. If you don't know it, go look it up.
This is the
Now we see
symbol for
it.
the
Yeah,
car.
that's the symbol for the car.
That's the car.
And then check this out. That statue and that knowledge, let's say 5,000 BC. That's a long time. Now, when we think of Qigong now we do it, we think of China. But they didn't get it till about 3,000 years ago. They ain't started. But we always talk about their ancient civilization. No put down. We always talk about India's civilization with prana. They got it about 3,000 years ago. It came to them. Egypt was already working with it.
Ching and all that.
Yeah.
The whole
But that culture was thrown out the window. Don't go there. And where's Egypt located? Last time I checked, it was in Africa. Well, I wonder they didn't bring it forward to tell you about the Ka. We keep looking at somebody else's culture, and it was already in your culture.
I mean, it's in you.
It's true.
That means
But it's the
in
same
you.
thing. But you need to see the influence that's what the name of the game is. It's nothing else. It ain't about money, clothes, materialism. It's all about the energy. That's what the planet is all about. Let's roll.
Ancient Egyptians believed that everyone had a Ka.
They believe, now here we go. Everyone have a Ka.
Everyone.
So that means even though we brought up that about China, India, and Africa, it's all the same thing. So it ain't ours, this and that. It's a universal force that's lighting up everything. That's why you don't have no enemies. See that thought process? That's the Ka. Let's roll with it.
The Ka is the life force believed to live within the body during life and survive it following death.
And it survives it after death. It's in you. That's what's giving you life, animating the body. And even when the body goes, the Ka's still alive. But on that other verse, you're getting it ready for the hereafter through preparation of the physical body so it can have the home to stay in if you want to stay here. But don't blame nobody that you left from here because the government gave you bad food. It ain't had nothing to do with that.
It was you.
It was you.
And then you have to come back.
You had to go back for it.
Now you got to come back.
Oh, man.
Do it all over.
And try all over again.
Get it right this time.
This is
Right
good.
time.
So that's why immortality is out there. It's from Egypt, and it's through the yogic system.
Yes, yes.
You go through the yogic system, they tell you, but a person can't believe it due to their condition. Their Ka ain't big enough. All right, let's see it.
The soul is you and your body. It is so simple. Life is what you and your body does as far as they are kept together.
As far as they're kept together, life is what you and your body does. As long as they're kept together. Oh man, this is
Because when they
good.
separated,
When they separated, your life,
is
there
separated
ain't no
from
more
the body,
life.
That's it.
But it's what you and your body does. Your body means everything. So we might as well say it in religion and spirituality, the old thought, they discredited the body. It's sinful, it's ugly, it's this, it's put down. But wait a minute. If this is where the Ka live and the Ka don't think that,
Right,
Right.
right. It's a temple.
it's a temple.
It's a temple.
Oh man, this is good. And as long as the Ka stay in here, the temple will stay. Did we say this? You got to kick the Ka out. You do. Oh man, let's roll.
The Bible teaches that we consist of body, soul, and spirit.
Now let's stop right there. This is where the play on words is at. The Bible teaches that we have a body, soul, and spirit. But we just found out that the Ka said spirit and the soul is the same thing. So what are they talking about? They split it up. So if you was to go through, and I ain't picking on church or nothing else, but if you was to go to spiritual people and ask them the difference between the soul and the spirit, you're going to hear all types of answers. They don't know. because of stuff like that. That's in what? 1 Thessalonians. But in Egyptian thought, the spirit and the soul is the same thing. And keep in mind, soul is a word that came later in the game. It was made up. Let's roll.
The non-spirit, the non-physical part of a person.
Now, spirit, the definition, what is spirit?
The non-physical part of a person.
Didn't they say that about the soul? Ding. Ding. Here we go.
Spirit, the non-physical part of a person, which is the seat of emotions and character, the soul.
The seat of the emotions and the character, the soul. That's the definition of spirit. They're the same thing.
Different words.
Just different. The words confusing everybody. That's what keeps you in duality when you can't figure it out. Oh man, and duality is not going to get you to be self-sufficient. That's why you got to work on this. You got to break right through it to see what it really is for what it really is. And then you got something to work with.